So we can do cross promotion across all of our girls. And for example, if a new girl is onboarded, immediately we could promote her across our entire network of Instagram accounts, which, yeah, I think really gets quite interesting. That is a main overview of like the mother slave method. What are the negatives of it? It's a bit of a pain to set up. Number one, you're going to be managing like a ton of accounts. I don't recommend anyone to use like automation software for growing Instagram accounts these days. It's just literally not worth it. So you need to set up and actually profile all of the accounts. And when I say profile, upload 24 posts. Just a little tip for you. We found that to be the sweet spot in terms of follow back rate. At 12, you'll get a pretty good follow back rate, but at 24 posts, we were actually able to double the follow back rate. And that doesn't just apply to OnlyFans, by the way. We've found this to work globally across all of our clients. So yeah, negative is it's a bit of a pain to set up. You're going to need a lot of devices. You're going to need employees, most likely multiple employees if you're going to follow the strategy that we use. And it's going to be like a little bit more expensive because we use 4G internet, we use 4G data. We don't use 4G proxies, it's not necessary, but we will use a SIM card using mobile data in order to perform the activity because it reduces blocks and reduces bans. If you are going to do this as well, I also suggest you to buy aged accounts. It's going to save you a ton of time and significantly reduce the ban rate that you get in terms of like volume and activity. So of course, whilst these are suicide accounts, we generally want to reduce the ban rate as much as possible, or like the temporary action blocks, because it just means we're able to perform less activity. So we want to try to avoid that as much as possible. In terms of the volume of activity that we will actually perform on the accounts, we'll start off with 10 actions per day on a new account, and we increase that by 10 actions per day until we reach a total of about 180 follows per day. And one other thing that's quite interesting, a little change that we've made. Previously, we used to alternate on days of, on day one, you do following, on day two, unfollowing, day three, following, day four, unfollowing, but we've completely switched that up now. So now we actually do following activity every single day because it just simply didn't make sense to do it the other way. So we'll do following activity every single day, and we then have a team that comes in and does unfollowing and blocking. The negative of doing blocking is that it takes more time. The positive is that you can do hundreds of blocks per day without your account getting an action block. Generally, most of the action blocks and activity blocks come from doing unfollowing rather than following. So blocking solves that issue, although it takes a lot longer to do. So if someone hasn't followed us back after 3 days, we will actually go ahead and block them, and it stops us from following them. Quite time consuming, but definitely worth doing. It's allowed us to pretty much double the amount of activity that we're able to do, because instead of alternating between follow on one day, we are doing following every single day. And in the evening, we are doing blocking. Currently, yeah, we do activity 5 days per week. Yeah. And just as well, like after 24 posts, like generally we won't upload any more post content after that because there's like just diminishing returns and it takes quite a lot of time. So one thing that we will do is like just story posts are really working quite well. And we will also grow the accounts pretty fast. Like I said, once an account gets 5K followers, perhaps we want to remove it from like the mother slave method strategy and turn it into like its own account. We will do that as well. For example, if we have a new model that comes on, we can immediately donate her an account that has 5,000 followers, all with OnlyFans targeted followers. So that makes quite a lot of sense. And the reason that we will do that is because the mother slave method, the slave accounts don't require us to have any type of audience. So the accounts with a larger following are just wasted on there. It makes no difference to us if the account has 5K or 500 followers. And we can often make better use of the accounts that have higher follower counts elsewhere by giving it to our models.